Okay, I have made this video to show you how to do concentration calculations, but I just wanted to let you know that this will very unlikely be a whole problem by itself on the AP Chemistry exam. It will be part of a problem. Even the subset, you know how the FRQs are in, they have the different parts to them. This will not even be a part all by itself. It'll be a part of a part. So, but anyway, you just want to really know how to do this because it will definitely show up. Well, I can't say definitely anything, especially for this year, but I would be really surprised if it doesn't show up multiple times. All right, so I want you to think of concentration as, let's see if I can make this work, as an equation. And you could be solving for different parts of this. You could be solving for concentration, you could be solving for moles, or you can be solving for liters. They could ask you for any part of this. It's just like algebra, right? You get an equation and you can solve for different parts of it. Let's see if I can do all this stuff. Okay, it's working. How exciting is that? So let's do the first one that's really straightforward, and then we'll just add some little twists into it. And these are the exact same format as the ones in the quizzes. So just have your calculator, have a piece of paper, just be ready to calculate these in the quizzes just to practice and see how you're doing. So let's think of this as an equation that we're writing things, we're filling things into and solving. I'm just going to write it this way. It's equal to moles over liter. Molarity equals moles over liters. So this time we're solving for molarity. And we've got 0.45 moles over 5 liters. You put that in your calculator. And you get 0. That's just not a good place for that button. It's right under my thumb when I'm writing. Okay. And then you put that in your calculator and you get 0.09 molar. Make sure you write molar. This unit is a large M. This one kind of looks quasi in between, but do not write it as a small m. This will be acceptable. Just don't write something that's obviously a small m like that. That means something else, which is molality, which we're just not going to do because it doesn't show up hardly at all. So, but you can always do more. It's just we really have to get through the main parts. So let's do another one. This time we're going to calculate the molarity of 5.8 grams of calcium bromide in 500 mils. So we're going to have to do two conversions. Because let's think about our equation. Molarity is equal to moles over liters. We don't have moles or liters, so we're going to have to convert both of them. So let's start by converting our 5.8 grams. And whenever you have to convert, when something's in the wrong units, I would really do this thing where you fill in the units for your conversion factor first. We need moles on top and grams on the bottom. How are we going to get the numbers for both of those? Where does that come from? Like, really have this in your mind. You did a bunch of these, but actually we've done some things like this. I put an extra credit assignment in the regular chemistry class for this, so just make sure you have it in your mind. Just do it here and get it back in your mind. So we need to go to the periodic table to get grams. That's where you get the masses of things. And so you can do this from the periodic table. You need to decide how you can do this quickly on the AP test. Maybe you can be doing the AP test on the computer and have your phone on the side. You can search for molar masses. To me, this is just like, how can you most quickly get the answers and make it accurate? This is basically open notes, open book. If you can quickly search on your phone, I would practice doing this. Just type in molar mass calcium bromide, or you can even type in molar mass CaBr2. The 2 doesn't have to be a subscript, just put in a 2 and just check it out. It's probably going to be faster than adding them up, especially if it's a larger formula than this. Anyway, I just want to start mentioning things, start practicing things and thinking about how to do things fast on the test. So You've always got a 1 in front of moles for the conversion factor. And then I typed this in to Google and I got, where'd it go? 199.89. 199.89 grams. And then these cancel out. And we basically do 5.8 divided by 199, which is 0.029 moles. That's the unit that we have left. And we are ready to put that in there in our equation. But we need to do this 500 mils one now. So milliliters is a really common unit, and milligrams is almost as common. They just really like milli. It's used a lot in the lab for chemistry. And so I'm going to show you the official conversion factor way for it, and I'm also going to talk to you about just the fast way to do it, because it's just going to show up all over the place. So, I should have filled in my units first. Liters on top and milliliters on the bottom. I started putting in the numbers. But just be careful, make sure you're doing this right. There are 1,000 milliliters in a liter. I would just really remember it's going to show up a lot. That's the main metric thing you need. Like kilograms and things, like maybe not as much though. So make sure you know this one inside and out. So milliliters cancels out. We basically have 500 divided by 1,000, which is 0.5 liters. I have another one on this, and I'll even show you, just move the decimal point. So you don't even have to put that in your calculator. But for now, let's do it this way. So now we have liters, which is ready to go in the bottom. And we have molarity is equal to 0.029 moles. We put in our moles on the top. That's why it's even write down this equation, just be ready to fill it in. Equals 0.029 moles over 0.5 liters. And that, I put it in my calculator ahead of time so I can just fill this in for you. Put it in and check it, or if you feel really confident you get those answers, just look at this and then do the ones in quizzes to test yourself. And since there's a ton of stuff written here, let me put a box around it. Ooh, sorry. But you get the point, right? That was a 5. I'll get more talented with this pen thing soon, I hope. All right, so let's go on to the next one. We've got 6 of these, so let's keep cranking through. So you're going to have this memorized. You probably already do. Molarity is equal to moles over liters. And this time we need to calculate the molarity. So far we've only been filling in moles and liters, but this time we're solving for this. Wait, I'm crazy. We're doing the same thing. We've been solving for molarity and we're going to do it again. I've got at least 1 or 2 other ones where we have to solve for something else. I'm losing it. I definitely am. So we've got grams again. Same deal. We've got to do 2.6 grams. We've got to convert it to moles. We're getting rid of grams, so let's put that on the bottom. There's always 1 in front of mole. We get the grams from the periodic table, but watch out. Be really careful when they give you the name and not the formula. So, and decide what you want to do, because on the regular AP exam on any other year, you would have to figure out the formula. The formula is AlOH, 3. There are 3 hydroxides because each hydroxide is 1 minus and each aluminum is 3 plus, and you cross these, remember? But you decide how you can do this fastest, because if you want to type in molar mass aluminum hydroxide in Google, it will give you the molar mass. It's going to be super fast. So just really think of what you want to do. When you have to show all your steps, you're going to have to show some of this, but sometimes you don't have to show it. You just have to decide what's going to get you the answer and where you can write out all the information you need. I am on number 3. I searched for the molar mass and it is 78 because I'm lazy. And that is equal to 0.033 moles. and we have 30 mils. So this isn't in liters. We've got to convert this to liters. So we could do the thing 30 mils and multiply by 1 liter over 1,000 milliliters. Like, that's fine, we'll get the right answer. Just milliliters tends to show up a lot in chemistry, and so whenever you have milliliters, liters are smaller, so you have to divide by 1,000, and I would just think of moving the decimal to the left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then we move past where we have numbers, so you put in a 0 there, and you put a decimal point. I would just get used to doing that, do it fast, write it out. It's going to be faster than putting things in your calculator and dividing by 1,000. Just remember, you have to move it to the left. Milliliters are small units, liters are large units. So you're going to end up with a small number when you convert it to liters. I would seriously just get yourself in the habit as soon as you see milliliters, you're probably going to have to convert it to liters and move the decimal point over 3 times. So, which means this, let me write it out so you can see really what I mean. So if you have 30 milliliters, that is equal to 0.03 liters. So now we have our moles. Now we have our liters. They are ready to put into the equation. Our molarity, I'm not going to write that out again, is equal to 0.033 moles over 0.3 liters. I didn't plan that out. I just made up these numbers. I guess I was in love with threes or something. That is equal to 1.11 molar. Remember, big M. And that is our answer. Let's keep going. How many moles of lithium hydroxide are present in a solution with a molarity of 1.9 molar and a volume of 130 milliliters? So again, we've got our equation. Molarity is equal to moles over liters. And I think this is it, where we're solving for something different. Yes, now they gave us the molarity. And it's in molar big M, so it's in the right units. 1.9 molar. So we just plug that in our equation, right? And now one of these are going to be the unknown. And a volume of 130 milliliters. So we don't know what the moles are. We're going to solve for that. I tend to put the unit right there to remind myself what the unit are so you don't have to worry about all these units. And let's do it up here. Don't even put in your calculator. It's milliliters. The decimal point needs to go 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. Decimal ends right here. It is 0.1300 liters. Trying to make that clearer. That's a decimal point that moved over there. So I would just do it right there. Do the little squigglies or whatever, however you're super safe about it. Don't get sloppy and not move it far enough or something, but try to decide what's a safe way to do it where you can do it fast. And then just be careful with the algebra here. Whoops, didn't want to change the eraser. And I tend to write out what I'm doing. To get this out of the denominator, we have to multiply it by both sides times, let's squeeze it in here somehow. I'm going to multiply on both sides. It's going to cancel here. So we're going to have x moles is equal to, and we've got 0.13 times 1.9, which is equal to 0.247. So our answer is 0.247 moles. I just kind of wrote in that unit, so I'm a little sketchy with the pen, but you can see what it is. So our answer, it asked how many moles of this stuff we had. And notice it said lithium hydroxide, but we didn't even have to worry about that. So just really set things up and only go find the molar mass of things if you need them. I see people going and finding the molar mass, getting out the periodic table and calculating it, and then they're like, oh wait, I didn't need it. Or using it when they didn't really need it. So let the units guide you. Okay, 5, we've got 2 more of these. So how many grams of solute are dissolved? So let's do our equation and plug things in, or figure out what we need and solve for those and then plug those in. So molarity they gave us molarity. So nice, we're plugging this one in again. We're not solving for this like we were in all the ones in the beginning. That's why I made this presentation for you, this video for you, because I realized that all the videos I was finding were just having you solve for molarity. There's like different things you can have to do. So, and we're finding how many grams are there, but we can't solve directly for grams. That's why it's so good to go back to this equation. So we want to solve for grams, but we can't. So we're just going to solve for moles here. We're going to solve for moles first, and then once we get this, once we figure out what X is, we will turn that into grams. And then liters, remember, as soon as you see milliliters and you need to use it, let's just go move that decimal point, not have to worry about doing things in your calculator. You move it to the left 3 places, and voila, it's 0.125 liters. Okay, and I just see a lot of weird little things go wrong with algebra when people do it fast, so I tend to write this out, just decide what is safe for you. Let's see if I can write this in a legible way over here, even though it's a little squished. We're going to multiply 0.125 liters on both sides, which means that our X moles are going to equal, I'm on number 5, 0.125 times 5, which is 625. I did something wrong. Let me give you the right numbers. 0.125, maybe my decimal didn't go in. 0.125 times 5 is 0.625. Okay, that's a lot better. That makes sense. 0, losing your decimal is not good. So, and they asked how many grams. We're not done yet, right? Like really, when you're going fast, you might think you're done and you're not, because they didn't ask us for moles, they asked us for grams. And like I said, this might be part of a problem, so you'll see that. So we've got that many moles. We don't want to end up with moles, we want to end up with grams. So let's convert it. Let's draw in our units first. We want to have grams. We're canceling out moles. 1 always goes in front of the moles. How are we going to get this grams? Oh, look, they were nice. They gave us the molar mass. It's pretty doubtful they're going to do that on the AP test, but just think about what the fastest way to get it is. Like, should you be Googling it on the side? Like, if you have a computer and a phone, think about how to use both of those. Keep it off to the side. Well, there's no video, so don't keep it off to the side. 58.45. And these cancel out. And I can take my answer. It was 3.1, but I lost my decimal point, so it's actually that. And I wouldn't put more than 2 after the decimal point, so I'm going to cross out that 1. Don't put a lot of digits after the decimal point. Just leave 2 maximum. 3s, like, they might let it go. If you put 4 or 5, they might start taking off points because it really doesn't look sophisticated. Okay, and we got the answer. Let's see if I can put a box without crossing it all out. There it is. One more. How many liters would you need to make a 2 molar solution if you use 3 moles of potassium nitride? So, back to the old equation. You got this memorized already just from watching this video, right? That would be good. Molarity equals moles over liter. We plug in our 2 molar. You should just start recognizing that unit. That is molar. It's a large M. And we've got 3 moles. They just gave it to in the moles. That was really nice. Just put it in. And we've got X liters. We don't know how many. Look, we're not even going to have to worry about the fact it's potassium nitride. We don't need to do anything with molar mass. And all we have to do is algebra. So watch out when the X is in the odometer. I would carefully do the algebra steps because I see weird things happen all the time when people do it in their head. Happens in algebra class, math classes, and in chemistry. So now you have 2 molar times, well, I'll put it over here. Doesn't really matter. X liters times 2 molar is equal to 3 moles. I would just do it in separate steps. You don't have to do it as, they don't care about you writing out your work in this way. Just be careful, because I see people multiply instead of divide and things like that. So now x is equal to 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. And that's why I put the units over here. You can go figure out big M is moles over liter and cancel out all the units. I tend to just, when I'm doing molarity problems, I tend to just, when I have an X, an unknown I'm solving for, I just tend to keep the units with it so that I know which ones they're going to be. It doesn't take any extra time to write that. So they asked us how many liters we have. We have 1.5 liters. All right, that's it. Those are the problems. Those are all the types of problems that will show up in your quizzes. So just to have your calculator handy, like practice ways that are fast for you to do this. And I'm going to keep posting all the skills you need and main concepts you need for AP Chemistry. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm always available by email. Leave me questions in Google Classroom. Or text me. Send me a message in Remind. Let me see if I can turn this off.